What's up, everyone? It's Rudy from Drinks and Movie Podcast, and today I'm going to do a three-way blind tasting of Bulliet Rye. So I've got the classic, just regular 90 proof Bulliet Rye, said to be aged about 4 to 7 years old. It's distilled in Indiana, MGP, and has a 95.5 rye mash bill. So this was kind of a standard for me for a while when I was still working at Monty Bar. And if I would, have a drink after work, or I'd go in and want to pour, or, do a shot on the clock, this was kind of the go-to for that. So this always kind of is like a mainstay within my whiskey selection here. And then the Bulliet Rye 10 I saw recently. I've been seeing it around and I finally decided to pick it up. I think it was only about $40, maybe $50. I want to say more in the 40 range. This one is coming in at, I think, 91.2 proof. So same mash bill and everything, just aged 10 years. And then we have the 2024. I guess this is a limited release. This is the 12-year-old Bulliet Rye. This one's coming in at 92 proof, so just slightly higher. Aged for 12 years. But from what I've read, supposedly there's up to 17-year-old juice in here, which is typical, right? It's like whenever you see an age statement, that just means it's the youngest juice that's in the bottle. So, there's plenty of stuff that can be way older, but I guess supposedly there's like a fair amount of older, closer to 17-year-old stuff in here. I have covered this one on the podcast before, and I remember it being pretty light and underwhelming. I did try this one the other day, and it was good. I mean, I liked it, This I haven't had in a while. It just kind of, hangs out here. Someone got this for me as a gift a while back, and I just don't hit it as much these days, because I've got a lot of other bottles that I enjoy a little bit more nowadays. But yeah, I've been curious, so let's blind it and see how these all kind of turn out. So I'm gonna just swap these again. Maybe they were swapped a few times, but let me do it again. So here we go. This is glass one. Wow, this is really minty. Very minty, very herbally, probably more of like a tea, I don't like teas, but I guess like an herbal tea kind of vibe. Yeah, man, I was drinking a little bit of bourbon before this, and this is definitely rye. Yeah, more on the savory, herbally side. Anyway, here we go, cheers. Definitely spice forward, not like black pepper and stuff, I'd say maybe like more of a nutmeg. Definitely herbally, definitely minty. Maybe a little like pine, like a little piney. It already kind of dissipated, so the finish isn't that long, that's for sure. Yeah, when you first taste it, it's got some depth for sure, and the spice really kind of is a little bit punchy, even for the lower proofs. For me, these are pretty low proof. Yeah, it's good. I don't know that, again, that's something that I would like kind of sit and sip regularly though. Definitely a bit of a mood pour. I love ryes, but not when they're too like minty and too herbally. Like I still have that. It's funny. It's like when you chew on a mint or suck on a mint or whatever, there's kind of a feeling, like a sensation, almost like a menthol-y sensation, if that makes sense, that sticks with my palate, and I'm definitely feeling that here. So anyway, here we go, glass two. This one smells quite a bit different. It still has that mint quality, but maybe a little bit of a like a hint of some kind of sweetness in there. I almost want to say brown sugar, but it's definitely not quite that. Yeah, man, a lot more different than I would have anticipated though, that's for sure. Yeah, anyway, here we go. Glass two. Yeah, way lighter on the palate. Maybe a little bit of a caramel, like just a hint, a tad of like caramel sweetness on the palate. Pretty light by comparison. I'm a little disappointed in that one because I liked the aroma more than the first glass, but it didn't deliver it on the palate. It was a little too subdued. Okay, so interesting. So I guess even though I don't care much for the flavors in the first one that much, because it at least has more flavor and has more depth, that will be in first place so far. So here's glass three. Man, a way different nose again. Shit. Yeah. This one's like really sharp. This is an aroma that reminds me more of like a Sagamore Spirit rye. It's not too herbally, not too minty. It's definitely, you get like the actual rye, you get the clove, you get some of the nutmeg, all that kind of, maybe a little allspice, all those typical kind of baking spices. Just a little sharper on the nose. Here we go, glass three. Probably my favorite. I'm gonna go through them again, but probably my favorite of the three. That one's a little more, to me, quintessential rye. You know, it matches the nose. It's still kind of on the light side, but it does match the aroma. The finish isn't very, well, I guess it's still kind of going. There's a little bit of like a sweetness, like very subtle on the finish, but yeah, it's interesting. Like, I mean, none of these are ryes that I would, you know, typically reach for or sip on a daily. Like, I mean, I got like Sagamore for that, or just like classic Michter's rye, you know, Wild Turkey 101 rye, the new Elijah Craig Toasted rye. There's a lot of other ones I would reach for first. So far, this is definitely the top dog in this tasting, though. Let me go again. Glass 3. Yeah, I mean, I dig that one. I'll put that in front. That's definitely very Christmassy. It's kind of piney. Like, it reminds me of like on that sip, like a Christmas tree, just like the scent you would get, but if you could taste that, but not in a bad way. That's how I feel about gin, and I don't very much care for gin, but yeah, that might be a good Christmas pour right there. All right, I'm gonna go back to glass 2. It's good. This one's just really kind of light. It just lacks depth, not very rich. Like, you get a quick wash of flavors and then it just dissipates too quick. I'm curious how this is all gonna shake out, because that's how I felt when I did not Creek Bulliet Rye 12 on the podcast a while back. I don't remember what movie we were talking about, but that was the thing. It just tasted so light and just very light, non-existent, which was surprising. You would think a 12-year-old rye would really like pop, you know, and you don't see a lot of high age dated ryes these days. So yeah, I'll leave that there for now. So let's go glass 1. Very minty, like now even more minty on the nose in comparison to the other two. Yeah, too minty, too herbally. I don't like that. That might be a hitter for some people if your palate is into that, but I've definitely discovered early on that I don't like when it's very like too herbally and minty. That's not my vibe. So glass 1 is in 3rd place. Glass 2 is in 2nd place. Glass 3, let me hit it one more time. Glass 3 definitely 1st place. All right, here we go. Let's reveal it. What is glass 1? The regular. Wow, shit. Okay. So the regular Bulliet Rye is glass number 1. Wow, I would have thought that was like, I wonder if that, yeah, I don't know. Glass number 1. So I guess the age is making a difference here. Let's talk about glass number 2 now. But that had more flavor than glass number 2 though, which was interesting. It had more depth, was a little more rich, just had more on the palate going on. I would say more complex. It just wasn't the flavors I like is all. So I wonder, because again, the first time I tried the Bulliet 12, it was super light and like lackluster. I wonder, let's see. Oh, that's the 10. Oh, shit, okay. 2nd place is the 10-year. Yeah, so 12, shit, I guess in this case, age wins. Interesting. I was kind of expecting, based on when I tried the 10 the other day, that would be the one that kind of pops in a better way. But yeah, as it turns out today, it is the Bulliet 12. So the cool thing is, once again, let me make sure we can see these. There aren't a lot of like high age ryes, because rye, you don't need to age it as long for the flavors to really pop like you do with bourbon. And even bourbon, compared to Scotch, you don't need to do it that long. But rye usually tastes better like in a younger time frame, maybe more around that 10, as opposed to where bourbon 12, you know, is like pretty good. So yeah, you don't see a lot. And I mean, Bulliet Rye 12-year, I think it's only maybe $60, like 50 to 60, I want to say. It definitely doesn't hit number 7, that's for damn sure. It's in the $50 to $60 range. So to have a 12-year-old rye whiskey that is like pretty affordable, I mean, yeah, it's definitely worth checking out. I wish it was a higher proof. It'd be cool if they did a, you know, like a single barrel or a high proof version of this. I'd be curious. But yeah, it's still, even among these, it doesn't pop a lot. I will definitely do a blind tasting with this and some other higher age ryes to see where it kind of sits. But yeah, if you want to try something new that's not going to break the bank, I mean, yeah, a 12-year-old rye for like $50 to $60, give it a shot. Anyway, that's it for this episode of Poor Decisions. Thanks for tuning in, and that's a wrap. Cheers.